You hear the stomping sounds of boots against like hard marble floors, beautifully reflecting your face back at you as you walk through the halls of Treadmere Castle. This has been your home for your whole life. Your father, King Avon Biltmore, as well as your mother, Queen Celeste von Sin Biltmore, have both treated you with utmost respect, but it's been grating. You feel trapped. You feel like you don't know where to go. The legacy of your father's life weighs down on you heavy, like cement shoes. But as you stomp through the halls of Tremere Castle, you pass a familiar Fuck off, god damn it. You pass a familiar alcove, one that you've seen every day of your whole life. The alcove is a beautiful display with a rack with a suit of armor brilliantly shining in bronze light, made of dragon scales older than time, giving off just a slight tinge of unreality. This bronze dragon armor represents one of your father's accomplishments, and you pass by it every day, and your brain just drifts to like what this dragon that once had these scales used to be. You're currently heading to the main hall, the great hall of this castle, to speak with your father about where you want to go with your life. And you reach the massive doors that go into this hall. What would you like to do?
Open them.
Yeah, you open the doors, and again, beautiful. Beautiful reds and forest greens with gold accents, beautiful shining floors, a carpet rolled so long, and it just extends on almost like forever, and at the end of it, you see your father sitting at his throne, and it would be incorrect to say it's just a throne, as there's also a desk in front of the throne, and piles of papers, and he looks like he's about to tear his hair out. And he's got a little ink pen writing like so quickly. It looks almost like he's cast like a bit of a haste spell on himself, and he's trying to get through this work as fast as possible.
Boy. Yeah, I just walk right up to him and say, "Ayo."
Oh, my son. Yes.
Yep.
How are you?
It seems like it doesn't matter how I am right now. How are you?
Incredibly busy. It turns out running a country is not a fun reward for the end of your adventure. It's actually a hard task that has taken years off of my life.
Wowzers. Anyway, what you writing?
Well, this is a report for resource usage in the match set district of the city. The next report I'm going on is about a colonization effort into the Beastlands, and I am just so overworked.
Wow. Why don't you get anyone to help you out?
Because
What?
everyone bailed.
Everyone bails so quickly.
How's your mother doing? I know I haven't been able to speak to her in a bit, but I hope that once this is over, I can have some free time.
I'm assuming she's fine.
That's good. That's good.
So, how about them arena fights?
Oh yeah, no, the new season's been great.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
the haste spell sort of wear off, and he's like, and you see like his heart like catch back up to him. You know, he gets that like round of stun. He goes, "Is there something you want to talk to me about?" Sorry,
Oh, well,
came down from a high.
you're supposed to be off the powder, Dad, but yeah.
Powder, it's magic. It doesn't count.
It's magic's not addictive.
Magic's not addictive. I just know 9th level spells.
You were about my age when you went off on your first grand adventure.
I mean, if you call getting drafted into the military a grand adventure, then yeah, sure.
It sounds grand. I mean, so like, when do I get my adventure? When do I get my own dragon to like, head on my wall, like going, seeing places, unraveling reality and all that stuff,
Son, are you sure adventuring is for you? I mean, you can get a cushy office job as or not an office job, but you can be a politician easily. You could be an ambassador. You could, yeah. I mean, what draws you to adventure? I mean, we've got money.
Well, just it's more about finding myself and like, getting all sorts of stuff done. Like you got all sorts of stuff done when you became an adventurer. You did a couple things. I just think I need to make my own stuff. Yeah.
Well, it'd be simply hypocritical for me to say no outright, but have you talked to your mother about this?
I was hoping we could actually not talk to her about this.
I'm gonna get so much shit.
You know how she feels.
Yes, that's where my position is coming from, is the way she feels.
But, like, you're like the king, so like, you can just like tell me what to do, right? Just pretend I'm one of your like loyal officers and send me off on a quest.
The queen, and you're like the prince.
But like, so we seem to be at an impasse. How about some tactical negotiation?
I like the way you think. You present a way to get your mother off of my ass, and I'll say yes.
I was kidnapped. Woo! And
she'll send me and the first council after you.
I ran away. Oh wait, it'd probably be the same outcome.
Probably the same outcome, yes.
Yeah. What if you just like use your tremendous amount of charm and wit and get Mom off my ass? Respectfully.
I can try.
Great.
We'll fast forward to about a week later. The events of the past week have been chaotic. When your father told your mother about your plans to leave to essentially go backpacking, she was hesitant, to say the least. But your father insisted that you would be well protected, that there would be people who would be with you, and that you would not be alone. And you weren't exactly pleased by these ideas, but it was better than being cooped up in the castle.
Yes. I'm gonna say like the first day after I talked to him, like Akon packed his bags. He's like, I know I'm gonna get to go. There's no way. He said
So
no.
confident. You pack your little magical bandolier.
Yeah, I'm like disturbingly like underpacked. Like,
Yeah. You've got a bindle essentially. You got a bindle
Yeah.
and a loot.
Yeah.
So it's about a week later, and your father has told you before you're allowed to leave that there's going to be a ceremony that they undergo as sort of like a rite of passage kind of thing.
Okay.
You once again enter the Great Hall, and all your father's greatest allies are gathered. You see the weird shark man that sort of acts as his enforcer. You see a very tired, old, gruff musician. You see like this. You know this court wizard, the Noda, has just been like eccentric and crazy, and a bunch of other like random dispersed people that you wouldn't think would be in the presence or the court of a king, but are indeed.
There is no way that Akon is not like incredibly like he's like fanboying out over like the menagerie being there.
Yeah.
Like
The menagerie...
especially Kato probably because it's like Bard.
He's the musician. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. You know, Kato Han, also known as the Eclipse, one of the premier musicians in the world, definitely one of your idols, is here, and one of your father's friends. He's on occasion, when he's been dragged away from a show, came by to teach you some things about music. His lessons are a little bit more off the cuff. He doesn't really teach people how to play often, except you. So it's a lot of like, you just gotta feel the music, man. You gotta feel it.
He lost a bet to Aegon or Avon.
Yeah, he lost a bet to Avon essentially a couple times, and it's a nice time. But you don't necessarily know what the ceremony is about. You just know it's some kind of ceremony. So you enter this like. It's not necessarily... It's like the temple in the castle. It's not necessarily a temple to a certain religion, but it's more of like a place to sit down and think about things. And all these people are gathered here, and you see this massive like windowed relief that's on like one of the top floors of this castle that overlooks the night sky. And there's a podium in front of it that your father is standing by. And on the left wall you see like sigils. And currently there is 3 sigils on the wall. There is one of a salamander. It's like these like house sigils that people would see. They're engraved and they're very stylistic. And there's one of a salamander that sort of swirls around a blade. And there's one of like a tulip that is like covered in like this swarm of bees, and there's another that's like a cat that's like burning a little bit, but like in the sense of it's made of fire and not that it is a burning cat. And you see these 3 sigils on the wall, and you walk up to the podium where your father is.
Hello.
Yes, my son. I
Hello.
have to be formal for this, so let me try. Prince Akon Biltmore of Zenaheim. Today, you are to choose your sigil.
Was I supposed to study for this?
No, you don't need to study. It's more of like a feeling thing.
Oh, okay.
He points to a very elderly, like, man who's like sort of a tiefling, and he's got a big ass anvil and a hammer, with a lot of metal by his side. And you see this man is like covered in like these robes. He seems to be some sort of crafter. And your father points to him and goes, "Now, for these, we will be doing something a little bit more old-fashioned. They're very important. So, for this, I need you to choose two things. I need you to choose a creature or animal, and an object. Try to pick ones that best represent yourself."
A creature and an object. Like any object?
Any object.
I find myself glancing at the salamander, and I go, dragons are pretty cool.
A dragon? But what kind?
A green one. Whatever the green ones do.
Okay. What about an object?
I don't know, like a lute? Lutes are good.
You see the tiefling man start hammering, and with like holy light, his hammer starts to glow, and this metal becomes red hot, and then bright white and brighter and brighter and brighter, and you see it sizzle into this like shield shape, and it's this beautiful relief of this lute, and twisting around it, kind of snake-like, you see this dragon that's just it's a very long dragon, and with only two legs, almost like a dragon serpent, but definitely a dragon, and it curls its way around this lute, and your father looks to you and he goes, "You're officially now a Biltmore. Not that you weren't before, but now you truly are."
Very cool.
And you see this symbol get raised up with like some like mage hand or telekinesis, and it's placed on the wall. And you see another one which is handed to you. It's like and it's another one's handed to you, and it's sort of formed into like a shield of some sort. With your symbol on it, and your father goes, "Here, check this out," and he like twists his hand in like a counterclockwise motion on the front of the shield, and like a part of it twists and shrinks down to a ring.
Ooh. That'll come in handy.
Of course. And he hands it to you. Now, one of the caveats of letting you leave here was on your mother's orders that I not let you leave without protection. Now, she intended me to send you with an armed guard, which you're still sort of getting, but like less so. But I have a better solution.
I really don't need any escorts. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll find like a great group and.
Buddy, you were this close to not being able to go, This
Uh,
was the only condition, was that you have some sort of escort. I was able to drop it from a platoon to like 2 guys.
okay. I can do it.
Okay. You see him snap his fingers, and he like, I'm gonna call it a wardrobe, but sort of wardrobe shape rolls out into this hall, being carried by a few guards, and it's rolled up to the podium, and your father again snaps his fingers, and the wardrobe flies open, and bright, holy, radiant white light just shines into the room, and then it lowers, and what you see is a mighty and massive great sword. The blade's probably like 8 inches in width, and at least a couple, like maybe like 4 feet long. This massive great sword.
Ooh. But give me 1 second. I've got a phone call coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
This massive great sword seems to fit its owner as it shrinks down in your hand. And this beautiful humming is just in your ears.
That's where did you get this?
You don't want to know.
You're right. Probably involves tentacle monsters or something.
Surprisingly, not this one. Well, sorta.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's canon that like Avon probably told horror stories about the Illithids. It's like, yeah, they sucked out my friend's brains, and like, you gotta watch out for them. They'll come anytime.
Yeah, it's like bedtime stories. Like, you know,
if you don't go to sleep, they'll steal your brain.
they'll steal your brains, dude. I swear. But yeah, you hold the sword in your hand, and a roaring applause for you, and Prince Akon drifts away, and we're left with Akon the adventurer, Akon the bard. We'll fast forward to, let's say 6 months from now. 6 months from then, rather. And you've arrived in the Wild North. It's been an interesting 6 months.
Huge doubts. Huge. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am.
Your father sort of sent you with a little bit more confidence in your independence, but you were sent as part of a crew of Zimmers, the Zenheim International Mining Company, the company that your father owns, who have been going to the Wild North recently to, and by recently I mean the past 20 years since you were born, to mine out resources and establish boom towns and create colonies and the like. And what you were mainly interested in, however, was the archaeology aspects. The cultures that live here natively in the Wild North are fascinating, and you are like really wanting to get like into the culture aspects. And it's been 6 months, and for the first time you're being led on an archaeology dig. So, you're standing in front of this, like, this temple. You're in a place called the Chill Lark. It's at the top right corner of the Wild North, pretty much out of the way of everything. You guys actually had to take a sky ship to get here. You couldn't walk or use a train or a wagon. And in front of you is this massive frozen lake. Standing beside you, as well as a whole crew of armed Zimmers, is
There he is.
My shit cut out. Where did I cut out?
Frozen Lake.
Frozen Lake. You're staying from this frozen lake. It's you, a swath of armed Zimmers, and two other people. One is a fire Ganassi who has been traveling with you. He's sort of been a guide. He was like originated from this like massive volcano where a bunch of fire Ganassi live, and he's been like employed as a guide. You know him as Daniel Boone. And he goes, "Hello, Avon. Fucking Jesus, my bad. That's gonna be hard to get out of my system. Hello, Akon. Are you ready to plunge into the depths? I, of course, am not going to. I am made of fire, and will not be partaking in the water. On another side of you is a nerdy individual who he's a historian by your side. He's also here in this archaeological dig as not necessarily moral support, but as like he's one of your best friends, and you need the support in terms of like intelligent based things. Like you need his expertise. This, of course, is a human man, like scruffy, 5 o'clock shadow. He hasn't shaved it a bit. He's a bit on the short side, maybe 5'5", a little. Maybe he'd be a little bit taller if he wasn't like hunched over. And his name is Benjamin Schneed. Schneed. And you three stand in front of this lake, this frozen lake.
Well, Danny, I just have to say one thing.
Oh yes, Mister.
I'm ready to plunge right into that bad boy. Of course, this also raises the question of how I will survive, but I'm sure we all have that all planned out, right, Benji? Big old Benji boy. Benji?
I do not know how you are planning to survive this, but I know that you are going to survive this, sir. And Benjamin just looks to you and goes, let's just not go out all guns blazing, eh? And you see him like hold out his hand, and he like has like a bubble in his hand. And he places it on your head.
Thank you.
He does the same to himself. Let's just go on forward, eh?
Yeah. So, do we have to break the ice, or like, do we?
Oh, most definitely. Do you want to take your stab at it, or should I let the guards fire their little boomsticks into it?
Let's do boomsticks. Boomsticks are way cooler.
Boomsticks are dope. All of the platoon of soldiers that are with you, these are the lower ranked members of the Xenaheim military. They're known as apologies, I have all this written down. They're known as carbines, essentially the lowest ranking members of the military. Their outfits are just simple, like mostly black with like some red and green accents, and they carry like muskets. And you see like this whole platoon with muskets. They each toss a stick of dynamite into the middle of this pile, and they all you see one of them just fire a shot into the dynamite, and you're a little bit too close, and the shockwave sort of knocks you back a bit.
Ow.
But the water is indeed broken. And not the water, the ice is indeed broken.
Well, that was exciting. I think my spleen's in the wrong place, but I think it'll be okay.
Akon, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Wisdom saving throw. Let's go. Boop. I'm still in this dog shit. 14.
14? That's not bad. You're level 3. That's not bad. You feel like this low rumbling sound. Like.
Excuse me?
Are you trying to ask somebody, excuse me, or?
No, I'm just as a reaction. It's like I go, hey, Ben, do you hear that?
Ben isn't there.
Oh.
In fact, no one's there.
Hello?
And there's like this light mist everywhere.
Hello? Hello? Oh. Akon will panic a little bit. He'll go, guys, you guys are pranking right now. You know how much I love jokes? Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
And Akon, you're just like, yeah, everything's great. And this rumbling increases louder and louder. And the rumbling is like, you look at the sand like it's behind the mist that's grown. And it's just, you see little particles that'll sort of jump up. And you start to hear.
I'm gonna. If there was a place to hide, I would probably go and try to find it.
The only place to hide is the lake.
I can't go that way.
You're in like a vast desert dune. That's the only thing here is this lake.
I dip my toe into the lake because I say, it can't be that cold, right? It can't be.
It's very fucking cold.
Oh, like, no, but I don't want to get killed, but I don't want to go in the lake because you know where to go. Okay. Just gonna take a deep breath and I jump in.
As you jump in, reflecting off the ice of the pool, you see behind you in brilliant green and turquoise this serpent-like dragon.
Oh my.
This serpent-like dragon coiling itself around a mighty stone pillar in the distance seems to look into your soul through this reflection. And it's beautifully green with like turquoise blue, and it almost looks like a vine the way it like curls around this pillar in the background. And you dip into the water. You feel yourself come out of this haze, and you're above the water again, and you're standing next to Benjamin and Daniel.
Did anyone else see that, or
Are
just
you
me?
alright, sir? You went blank for a few seconds.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just was thinking about all sorts of fun little jokes. That's me.
Are you ready to hit the deck?
Yes.
Says Benjamin.
There's not any like monsters in there, is there?
Who can say? This temple hasn't been open for possibly thousands of years. This is the Chillark, supposedly the resting place of the Walkwen.
Oh my. Well, guess we'll hop right in. Huh. Oh.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Here we go.
As you hop into the water.
Constitution saving throw. 16.
Okay, 16. You sort of already felt the cold of this lake before, so as you jump in, it's not as bad as it might have been otherwise. And as you plunge below the icy depths, your vision goes dark, but not as dark as a human normally would, as you feel your blade on your back sort of flow into your eyes like the power provides, and you have like a little bit of dark vision. Now this isn't unfamiliar to you. The sword has a bunch of strange qualities, able to help you see things more true. Not everything, but darkness becomes dim. Sometimes creatures who are trying not to be visible become visible. And you plunge into the depths, able to see but a brief radius around yourself. And you know where you're supposed to go. Just going off of purely just that sense of direction, that's just pointing you.
I follow it.
It's freezing, very cold, but eventually you feel your boots touch stone.
Okay.
With your vision, you see this archway. What do you do?
Walk through it.
As you walk through the archway, you walk through it and everything seems to change in an instant. Almost like you are in a completely different place as you walk through. The smell of the water dissipates and you just smell what is essentially like a forest. Is like you smell the forest around you in this area, and it's like a mix between the water and the forest, like the ocean, like sea salt, which it shouldn't be sea salt because this is a lake, it should be fresh water, but it smells like sea salt and forest. And you're in a room which seems to be part of this temple that you're going to near the Chillark. But there's a bit of vine growing everywhere, which doesn't necessarily make sense, as this place has been abandoned for 2,000 plus years, and there were never any plants growing here to begin with, as you know of.
Weird.
This area is relieved to many separate rooms. There's a bunch of different hallways that split off and turn around and twist.
Any thoughts, Ben?
We should head forward. What's an excavation without a bit of confusion, eh?
Forward we go then, Ben. See what I did there?
I got the joke. Good job. Yes.
Here we go.
And you both head forward into the Chillark. Twisting hallways. It's been a series of dead ends. You've been here for an hour. I should also mention the water that was filling your entire area is dissipated as you walk through the archway. So there's no water in here except for the brief bit that's on the floor. And you walk through, your feet stomping. Only sounds you're really hearing is the sounds of each other's voices and the brief drip, 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 drip. And you eventually split off from Ben a little bit, trying to find an adventurous side. You wanting to get an adventure out of this adventure experience.
Yeah.
And you find the deepest room of the temple. it's essentially this like watery lake that's inside, and it's like this small little recess. Like this room used to be like maybe like an altar room. It's circular, but where like the altar would be like is submerged in the ground is now like a big pool.
I walk up to it.
As you walk up to the pool, you see ripples start to show in the water, like ripple. And rising from it, you see like a white mass, like some sort of white mass. It almost looks like fabric.
Oh. I'm gonna say he probably fumbles for the sword, but he like drops it, or like he can't like get it out.
Yeah, you're not quite able to get it out in time. But the sword is also glowing just a little bit, like more than usual. And this back starts to rise from the water, and it seems to be some sort of person. They're dripping wet and just sort of floating in the water, almost like they're standing fully tall, but their ankles are the last thing you see. Like you don't see their feet as this sort of combines with the water. And this person is got long hair. They're very tall. Their back is sort of hunched in a long white gown with like black hair with like strands of platinum blonde.
Hi.
You see the head sort of twist to the left and to the side a little bit, just looking at you. The eyes are revealed to you, and they're just sort of like pure white.
Did someone hire a bard? Maybe I'm at the wrong address. I'm just gonna go back the other way.
You hear a voice in your head that sounds like your voice, but isn't a thought that's original to you. Like, you know this isn't something you're thinking, but you're in your mind, it's your own voice. And you just hear the primordial.
The what? The what?
Want to take its power.
It? What's it? Find the
incarnations.
Oh. And
the attuned.
Okay.
And she slowly sinks back into the water. At the base of the pool where you're standing, you see a small statuette on the floor. Sort of. It does that thing when you drop like a cup or something where like it sort of settles itself. And it's a small statuette of a blue octopus seemingly made out of water.
Okay. This is an octopus made out of water.
The sword on your back is glowing very bright, and you feel like that, like a bit of power coming off of it that sort of like extends to your eyes. Like it grows brighter a little bit, and like you feel different in a way.
This is weird. I don't like it here. I gotta. Bad?
You hear
Bad?
Akon! Akon!
Ben, something's fucking here. Everything's funky. Woman. Strange woman. Very strange.
You make it back to the main room, and you hold are you holding out the statuette, or are you just holding it, or
Yeah, I'll be cradling it.
you'll be cradling it, and you'll just see go, what is that?
I'm unsure, but I found it.
You should probably get back.
Probably a good idea.
Uh,
Weird
as
things in
you
here.
look at Benjamin, something's different. His eyes, which usually are like a dull brown color, are now bright red. And in the eye, you see like this, like some kind of symbol that looks like a big triangle with like two smaller triangles next to it in his eyes. And glowing very brightly. Akon, are you ready to leave?
Yeah, it's just. Did you do something with your eyes recently?
No. My eyes look fine, I believe. And
Yeah.
he sort of like mage hands like a mirror out of his bag, and he holds it up to himself, and he's like, my eyes look fine.
Yeah. You're right. Let's just go. Let's go.
And
Come on.
it's sort of like a double-sided mirror, and like you see like it reflects you as he holds it up, and you see your eyes are glowing bright green, and they've got this symbol of like a big triangle with a line at the bottom. I have these symbols, and I'll show you next week.
Okay.
But yeah, this big triangle with like a line at the bottom edge. And you guys ascend the temple, ascend the water, and get back out. And you're surrounded by the platoon again. They've been waiting for you for the past couple hours of you explored.
Very cool.
Make a perception check.
Okay. I got a 4, so.
A 4?
A 4? Yeah.
You're just a little bit overwhelmed by what you see when you get up as this platoon of people. You see, like, it's not as bright as Benjamin, but you see, like, orange and purple and, like dark blue and green and red and, like, brown and, like, yellow. All coming from these people's eyes. It's not as bright, though.
Nice.
So, eventually, the temple, the Chillark, you leave the temple, having excavated a few more artifacts, ready to go, and you head back. The plan is to take them to New Trenmere for observation to figure out what that is. But for that, you have to take the New Trenmere Unlimited train line that leads through. Over the past couple days, you've noticed, and you've become attuned to it, that everyone now has these weird glowing eyes. Like,
very strange.
Very, very strange. And they've each got a symbol in it.
Very weird.
For almost everyone, besides you and Benjamin, it's a very dull color. But as you head towards this train, and you reach a train station, ready to board with the rest of the team, the train is armored and it's easier to board. And sky ships have the risk of getting taken up in like a sandstorm, where the train does not. So the goal is to use this train, and you get on the train, and you notice one of the people on the train is glowing bright orange in their eyes. It's this like, he's got like a cowboy hat on, he's like a half tabaxi in a duster with like an orange like vest over it and a large rifle on his back, and his eyes are glowing bright orange, and this is the first person you've seen to have the same like bright glow as you and Benjamin. And that is
Hi.
actually where we're going to wrap this up. Hi.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. I know you've been extremely busy.
Oh yeah, very very busy. All right. It sounds interesting. Can't wait to play Wednesday.
I'm so excited for Wednesday.
All right.
All right. I will see you then.
All right. Bye.